So we will go ahead and start. Um, so you right now you can come up with on your page should be a map of Malys, or this is what Malys would have looked like before the Cataclysm 1,500 years ago. It's a extremely large city. Uh, however, you're not there yet.
So is this a map that we have like in our possession?
Yeah, this is a map you would have found from the archives.
How old?
Well, the city fell 1,500 years ago. This would have been constructed about 100 years before the fall, so it's 1,600 years old.
Okay. Is it on a river?
It was. The river has since dried up. The lake is still there, but the
Oh, okay. So this down here is actually a big old lake,
yeah,
and this is just a river going through it.
uh-huh.
Okay.
Think like it actually the lake now is infused with dust and magical artifacts because of like pollution, and also the lake was always a big body of salt water. Think like Salt Lake. It's and it was,
Okay. So it smells bad here.
yeah, it smells pretty horrible. But where you guys are, you've been traveling with the. Hold on, I actually have notes for this. You've been traveling with the Fenner expedition for roughly a month, and now you're finally to the gates of the Waste. 19 wagons, including your own, will set off at first light tomorrow. In 1 week's time, you will finally find yourself on the shores of the Murk. That's the name of the lake. To seek whatever you hope to find in the old ruin. Your small band of mercenaries stretch their legs and take to the last roadside bar. A large half-orc woman with a tin star pinned to her chest cleans her nails and watches you all suspiciously. Do you guys want to go ahead and describe what your characters look like?
Sure. So Zashi has golden brown hair and golden eyes. She's got scales going down both sides of her throat.
Mm-hmm.
Along her left arm, which is
Yanti?
Yes, Yanti. Along her left arm is actually glowing purple lines. And she's in armor with a rapier on her hip and actually a net that is easy for her to reach as well, and a shield. She is followed pretty closely by a gnoll, very large gnoll female, who she refers to as Scout most of the time. And her chef is a tabaxi with white fur, has a scar across one eye that she normally calls chef. And the tabaxi has a lot of muscles.
I should mention, by the way, so unless you guys purchase them, none of you guys have horses. You're all on foot. It is a caravan. Most of the wagons are being pulled by oxen or like large draft horses. There's no one that's particularly fast around here. Just that, FYI.
I don't remember how much a horse would have actually cost.
A riding horse would be 50 gold. I just wanted to let you know. So.
No, I don't think I would have thought to purchase that since we have a wagon.
Mm-hmm. Well, your company has a wagon.
Yeah.
There are a lot of you, so.
All right, I will mark it down. I will have.
No, you don't have to have a horse. I just want to make sure you all know that you are going to be. It's slow. It's a caravan.
We're huffing it.
Yeah, but we're the ones that are supposed
starting equipment plus 50 gold, right?
No, plus 75 gold.
Mm-hmm.
Even better. Mm-hmm. Then you can get a saddle as well.
But we'll go ahead and continue, and then I'll explain the rest of the caravan when we're. So, Chris, can you go ahead and describe your character?
Yeah. My character is called Storm. on the horizon. Goes by Storm. Short, very young Tabaxi, probably around 14 years old. Has this kind of tiger print fur, but instead of being like really thin looking, the fur kind of puffs out a little bit, kind of like makes them look a little chunky, but not really, just kind of adorable looking. Has a little vial on his back and a rapier on his side with leather armor. Do you want us to detail all of our other characters, or
Yeah, go ahead and. I mean, you don't have to go into too much detail, but who's kind of following you around?
all right? The main one that's really following me around is a large Goliath barbarian.
Okay.
A very she's probably around 18 years old, and she seems to hang on my character a lot. Very protective.
Okay.
And then there's a couple others. There's a half elf sorcerer that I have, as well as a tiefling.
Okay. James?
Main character Lander McDonald's. You're rather short, like really gaunt-looking half-elf. He's wearing faded clothes. Like they used to be really nice, but they've definitely seen better years. Just kind of carrying, obviously, like arcane magical equipment with him. Looking kind of, he always just feels kind of off to be around.
Okay.
And he's followed by
is James
a
speaking?
pair of dwarves.
on,
They
I
look like
cannot
brothers.
hear
They're
James.
wearing old military uniforms, but all the insignias and patches have been cut off. One of them glancing around and like kind of holding tight to a large heavy crossbow, and the other a lot more friendly in appearance and demeanor than the other two, but sadly is carrying a bagpipe with him.
Okay. Okay. Fine, we'll come to Whistler.
Okay, so Whistler is kind of a fluffy kinku. He's wearing, I mean, he looks like a big old crow, so there's a whole lot to his physical appearance. He's wearing a hood and a kilt. And then he's actually got like a harness with a bunch of like just weird trinkets and stuff hanging off of it that are connected to cheap costume cherub wings. Like you'd wear at like a Halloween party. He is currently riding on the back of a centaur facing backwards because she won't let him face forward because she doesn't want his breath on her back. And her name is Tarva. She's much more physically impressive. And she's carrying a big old glaive and actually looks like maybe the most competent member of their group. She's also carrying a small, very top-heavy pixie on her shoulder. And they're talking back and forth, just kind of ignoring the weird bird on her back.
So this is your motley crew. You also have so you have what's called a Dustborn, kind of a Ponzi fellow that joined you along with his friend, a Minotaur, who a Minotaur is really rare in this world. They're exclusive to basically one island. They're considered kind of superstitious folk. If you ask them, they have this whole thing about Formians and the insect empire that exists beneath the surface in the center of the world. But they kind of keep to themselves. They're probably the newest members of your guys' ragtag mercenary company. The one other person in your mercenary, the person actually driving your guys' wagon, which is actually has all of your money in it. Like not your. It's actually the company's money, not your individual funds. There's a guy named Kalevi Crook. He's kind of an older. He was a mercenary at one point, but he's seen way too many battles. He's missing his left leg, like cut off at the knee. You're pretty sure he's blind, although he won't admit it. And but he's the last member of your company, and he's already departed to he's already left and is getting smashed at the bar. You trust him because he's basically the only person that really knows the combo to the lock that holds your chest.
Okay, so I know we won't have full descriptions, but do you know anything about our missing players' characters? Because I mean, they'd be with us too.
That was the dust. That was the
Dustborn, the Minotaur, and
I don't know actually Terry's character.
Okay. Well, I think Terry's back.
Yeah, the Dustborn, by the way, they have glowing scars all over their face.
Was that where Chester had his scars? I thought he was hiding them.
What is a Dustborn?
So my character technically also has a Dustborn trait. That's the pattern on her left arm.
So
okay, it's a Yanti.
No, it's
no.
It's not a Yanti.
I will explain.
Yeah.
So there is a drug called dust. It's also the material that infuses your inks that you need to make scrolls.
Okay.
It's infused with magic. People who are exposed to dust while they're in the womb, like through either just being in an area with a high concentration of dust, or like their parents were addicts, they have a natural magical ability, but it's like literally eating them away from the inside. So they end up getting these scars, and they're called the Dustborn.
Okay. So is the Dustborn human?
No, it is an elf. It is
okay.
He's actually what's called a dust elf. They are people native to the wastes, and all of them are Dustborn because it's in the air around here.
Moadib.
Kind of. Only no sand. Well, there are sandworms, but not that way. Terry, you on? If you want to describe your character.
I'm guessing he's still having problems.
No, man. I'm just trying to figure out how to put it.
Okay.
So my character is Earth Genocide. Most likely gonna be wearing my hood. I'm kind of have walk with the lean, kind of like I have a chip on my shoulder, kind of idea. I try to keep to myself and only really talk to the people that are around me. I smile sometimes, but I always have that angry face on. If that makes sense to everybody. Like when I try to smile, it makes it worse. So feel free to get close to me if you want. I'll try to be nice to everybody, but it's whether it works out or not, it's another story. My character is a rogue, and I have my two other companions. I have I believe it's half ogre hunter, and I have a small gnome wizard with me. So you'll see there's guys. You might not know what they are, but they'll be the ones I'll be mostly talking to. I don't have a voice yet to work with, but for the most part, that's what I got.
Okay. So yeah, you guys have the night before your caravan sets out. So besides your wagon that's carrying your company's money, you have 18 other wagons. These are mainly settlers. But the town you're currently in is less of a town and more of a bar and a sheriff's station. The half orc is basically just kind of watching you guys. She doesn't seem to make any real movement towards you, but it formed up on the trade route, and you know that this is the last place to really get supplies before you get to the boom town that is New Malys, which is formed up around the basically city. the old city.
How long has it been since the wards or whatever it is that was frozen Malys dissipated?
They started to disappear approximately 4 years ago with the arrival of the war god Shar, but they're still in kind of a weird, like, a slow degradation. Like the collapsing towers are still actually slowly falling.
Okay.
It's weakening. They're not completely gone, but the outer edges and the lake itself isn't nearly as toxic as it was before. And there's less likelihood of anything dying becoming immediately back as a zombie, which was one of the major problems too. Was the necromantic energy caused things not to stay dead, but that's all pretty much faded. But yeah, you can pick up any last minute supplies or talk to anybody in the town or the sheriff or figure out what's going on. It's up to you, or you can continue on.
Well, I imagine because we've been traveling for a month that we would want to get food and water to make sure that we're ready for the next leg of the journey. Is our wagon driver the one that has the key? Is he actually handling that because he's got the mercenaries' money?
He has the company's money. The company's money is kind of you use it for long expenses. Like you each get a salary, and then the company kind of maintains its own funds. Eventually, when the company disbands, the money will be divvied up. It's like a shares system.
Ah, okay.
So we have to supply our own basic necessities like food and water.
Yes.
All right.
Mainly because it's impossible to keep track of all of you guys' different dietary requirements. Like the Minotaur doesn't eat meat, and the Tabaxi probably only eats meat. Like it's.
Okay, but
You guys are too eclectic to have any kind of like set ration system.
all right, but each of our characters is starting with the starting equipment, starting rations from this point, right?
Yes.
Okay, so we should have 10 days worth of rations.
Right, and it's only so by distance it'll take you guys about a week, assuming that you don't run into any trouble to get to New Malys. But New Malys is a relatively new city. It is a boom town. You don't actually know what's sold there, and it is in the middle of a desert.
Great.
So take that for what you will.
Well, I would like to talk to this sheriff person briefly to find out if there's anything we need to be aware of on the next leg of the journey.
And I'm just going to follow the fancy paladin.
Okay. Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
My name's Zashi. This is Whistler.
Gallagher.
Very nice to meet you, Cadiger. We're part of the group that is protecting the new citizens heading towards Malys.
Another group of mercenaries. What's your names? What's your company's name? She actually pulls out a scroll and is like looking through things.
Did we pick a name for our mercenary company?
Murdered crows.
Right. We're the Murder Crows.
She kind of looks down like, you gotcha. Looks like you already paid your fee to the Empire.
I believe so. I believe that was all handled already.
How many people in your group?
Are there? Each got like 3.
You each have approximately 3 followers, and then there's 99 people in the caravan.
Okay, I will let her have that information. I don't want to do the math right now, but it's okay.
All right.
Whistler knows, and he's just doing this really fast.
Kataga's eyes kind of like after the third time you do this, she just
Yeah,
number would be.
Yeah, Zashi will actually say the number.
That's more than we anticipated. You still owe. That means that you owe 3 more gold.
Very well.
You know, actually, the reason why it's more is because there have been 2 births on the month-long travel since you got here.
Oh, okay. 3 more gold?
Mm-hmm.
Alright, I'll go ahead and pay it. And, is there anything we need to be aware of for the next leg to Malys? Is there anything that's come up? Any
The devil
problems?
dogs have been howling lately.
The devil dogs?
Large creatures look like their skin is falling off of them. About 12 feet in length. They like to raid anybody that's caught moving slow across the desert.
And do these devil dogs normally travel in packs or not?
Family units.
Family units. Okay. Do you know if they have any particular... So they go against... Try to track down things that are moving fairly slow. Are there things that seem to deter them? Or things that, other than going slow, seem to attract them?
They don't like fire much.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. Whistler, is there anything else you would like to ask? Alright. Thank you very much for your time. We'll leave you to your evening, and I will head back to the rest of our group.
And I'll follow a little bit too close.
Okay. Once I get back, I will let Sandy Stone, Storm, and Lander know the information that I've found. That we might have to deal with these devil dogs in the area. And that apparently they don't like fire, but they're probably going to be attracted to our caravan because we're going to be moving pretty slow. Also, I had to pay 3 extra gold because of the births along the way.
All right. Are we staying the night here? Or?
I mean, you could set out now, but you'd have to talk to the leader of the caravan for that. You guys are basically security guards. The person that's actually leading the caravan name is Jahaza Fenner. He's a hobgoblin.
All right. And there's a bar in this town, right?
Yeah, that's basically all there is.
I'm going to go to the bar and act like I'm of age to drink.
It doesn't even question it and just puts. What do you order? Like a whiskey or something?
Just what do they have? Do they have like ales or?
They have beer, but it has a weird smell to it. Like they added a preservative, considering the heat around here. And other than that, they just have like high alcohol, so whiskey, some type of cactus liquor.
Yeah, I'll have whiskey. Okay. Yeah, something strong that I probably haven't had too much of.
Okay, just not even paying attention. Just this golden brown liquid is poured into a low ball and swung over to you.
Yeah, and I'm very happy now because usually it's a lot harder for me to get liquor.
Yeah. You can tell that the bartender is a little distracted. Your caravan, you can tell that this place probably doesn't get much traffic except the caravans, and your caravan is huge. So there's 99 people crammed into a place that probably was designed to hold like 20. and everybody's kind of stretching their legs, getting out because they've all been in basically wagons for a month.
All right.
I want to find the caravan leader.
Okay. Jahaza is himself also. He's a dustborn hobgoblin, which is a very weird because you can't actually see the scars because of the fur, but like you can see the slight glow of it. And he's currently like looks like he's yelling at his two kids and his wife Zara, trying to get like everything, the cattle fed and everything set up around the tent, and is also kind of like hollering at various other wagon to like stay in some type of group so that he can know where everybody is.
Okay, I just waddle up to him.
Zashi would probably follow Whistler out of curiosity once she realizes you're not super close to her.
But do you try to get his attention? Like it was with your height, he's probably not even paying attention to Whistler.
I will go there and I will walk up behind him, and I will stand like 3 inches from his back until he notices me.
So he's like, it's actually during one of his like go, like he's yelling at, he's like, Azara, go move that, and he like actually like his elbow like kind of hits you in the beak a little bit, and then it's like, what? What are you doing?
And I will point in the direction of the sheriff's office or whatever. Well, that's going to be 3 more gold than was expected. And I'll hold up my hand.
Oh, he's like, he's actually somewhat used to you with the mimicky thing, so he actually like reaches into a pouch on his side, drops three gold into your hand, and like, I completely forgot about the about our 2 newbies. The Empire always wants their taxes, don't they? Which, considering you're a crow, when you smile, is really creepy.
It is, because he like opens it up because he can't like
Yeah.
So he gives it to me?
Yeah.
Okay. How close is Anshi?
She's like leaning against another wagon, just kind of watching you. She has an expression on her face that she's actually really amused.
Okay. So he turns around, starts to walk away and pocket the gold until he sees Sanshi. And then he kind of like hunches over a little bit and then walks up to Sanshi and hands you the gold.
She only takes 1 gold piece. She leaves the other 2 in your hand. And she says, "Thanks, Whistler. I don't know why, but he seems to like you better than me." And we'll start walking back to the bar.
Okay. Is anyone else doing anything?
And just being over paranoid with everything, with all the wagons, making sure that everything's checked before we go and everyone's settled, just in case we need to repair anything. Just like over paranoid, checking it a couple times each hour, just to make sure everything's in order before.
Okay. Give me an investigation check. Or a survival check, actually. Give me a survival check. Okay, so actually, you do notice one problem. The Ripnu wagon, which would be the 1, 2, 7, 8, the 8th wagon in line. It has one of its axles is in a fairly bad repair. Which like the Ripnu's, it's one of the least occupied wagons. And they're not the Adwin and his sister Odette are not the most accomplished of travelers. They're and so it looks like they haven't been taking care of the wagon very well.
Okay, so I'm gonna tell them. Try to figure out who our quartermaster is. Try to figure out if we want to actually take the wagon apart for spare parts / use something else. Just so we don't have to have extra dead weight, and if we need spare parts, we have something ready to go. If not, we try to sell it as well.
Okay. So fortunately, the person right behind them, Paris, would probably be the closest thing to a quartermaster for the settlers. He looks at you and is like, "Oh, I was actually waiting for that to fall apart. I was going to charge him for riding in my caravan."
Okay, would you mind giving me a finder's fee to help out? Because I can tell them what you said.
Or we can just keep a mouth shut, and when they break down, I'll give you 50%.
Do you mind if I have that in writing? I have a mind I forget all the time.
I don't like putting my signature down on deals of dubious morality. If you're sure you're not ready for a handshake deal?
I don't mind a handshake, but I at least need at least one witness. Because like I said, my memory fades sometimes, and I need to make sure someone else can remind me later.
Conspiracies are best when you keep the amount of people involved small.
Well, it would be small, but you don't want to sign anything.
Fine. My name ain't going down on this thing. It's just to help jog your memory.
Just to help jog my memory.
So he basically writes down that he's going to give you 50%. He signs it with an X and hands you basically it's the equivalent of a sticky note.
And I shake on it.
Okay.
About halfway back to the bar, Zashi stops and smacks herself in the forehead as she forgot something she actually needed to bring up to Jahaza. And
Okay.
we'll turn around and start walking back.
Okay. Yes, Zashi. He's actually finally gotten everything kind of where he wants to it, so you kind of meet him as he himself is finally walking back.
Zahaza, we may be running into some large, dangerous creatures on the next...
Well, that's why I hired you. Wrong accent. That's why I hired you.
Yes, all I am requesting of you is, can each of the wagons, do they have some way to produce fire? Like torches or something like that?
He looks at the canvas wagons that are made out of dry wood and kind of looks at you like the caravan doesn't appreciate fire much itself.
Yeah, that's what I was afraid of. Apparently fire is one of the things that these creatures, these devil dogs, don't particularly like. I'll have to figure something out. If you can let... No, God. Actually, that would be worse. If they start panicking, then everything might go up in flames. I'll figure something out. Thank you, Jahaza.
Of course.
So this place is just basically a bar in the sheriff's station, right?
Yeah, it's like... I mean, there's a general goods store in the bar, but...
Oh. Okay. I'm gonna go look at the general goods store.
Okay. The bartender actually kind of Maribel, get out here. And a kind of plump dwarven woman saddles up. Can I help you? I mean, it's not there's various crackers and rations of and jerkies. It's all kind of designed around the idea of making the journey north through the desert.
I'm walking around grabbing single things of jerky and candies and licking them and then putting them back. Trying to find one that tastes good.
You stop that. Now I bring everything you lick to this counter right now.
And he'll go and he'll, various little things. And some of it's not even food. Like, I licked this spoon. And I licked this pen.
She kind of looks at the assortment. Go ahead and can you roll me a D100? We'll say this is how much in copper you owe this woman. Oh, so you owe her a silver piece. We'll just call it a silver.
And then I will hold up my hand
Mm-hmm.
and do this. And I'm just going to make the illusion of a small, like, brass brazier.
Okay.
And then I'll make it disappear.
She looks very confused. Were you trying to, as DM, I'm very confused. Were you trying to trick her or were you trying to communicate something to her?
I'm trying to communicate something to her.
Okay. Yeah, she has no idea what you mean because I have no idea what you mean.
That's cool.
Okay.
Okay. So I'll give her silver.
Mm-hmm. She kind of bites it.
But I'm looking around. I'm actually looking to. I need to buy a small brazier.
Oh, okay. So
I'm looking in this stuff for one.
Okay, go ahead and give me an investigation check. It's not really well organized. It's kind of like the various junk that has accumulated over time.
Mm-hmm.
So
oh, I'm looking at the wrong.
as you're there, by the way, you actually see a bunch of the veering children start running around, kind of after they saw you lick everything. There's a bunch of veering children that start like running around, kind of doing the same thing. And now the dwarf looks at you and like, oh, now look at what you did. And but you do find your brazier. It's kind of stuffed in the back corner.
Okay. Does she have any? Do they have any incense?
Incense?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. It's mainly like sage and juniper, so it doesn't smell great, but it's technically incense.
Okay. So I will take my 2 gold pieces that I just got, and I will buy the brazier and as much of that incense as I can get with what's left of it.
With the left of the 2 gold. Yeah, you get, I would say, I mean, it's not...
Minus 1 silver piece, just for accounting pieces on my side.
Okay. Yeah, you get plenty of it. I would say, somebody's keyboard is distracting me.
Sorry.
Yeah, you get quite a bit of it. You get your gold's worth, I guess.
Okay, so a gold's worth of incense plus the brazier plus the silver piece that I owed her. Okay, cool. And then I walk out.
Okay.
With my brazier and my collection of crap that I licked.
Okay. So you have like a few pieces of jerky, some candy. I'll say all told, you have like half a day's worth of rations with just the random shit.
Well, except for that, I then walk over to the group that's still my people that are still in the bar, and I hand out the candy and the jerky that obviously didn't taste good, or I would have bought it myself to other people.
Okay.
That I licked.
So yeah, this little crow person is going around and handing you guys various candies and jerkies. I will say the jerky is not actually that bad. The candy tastes kind of like soap. But the jerky's not horrible. Um, other than that, you do see. So Macklin, after his surreptitious deal with Terry's character with Sandy, wanders in, and in his usual kind of way, like, we got supplies. I have gold watches. And then he notices that literally there's no one but the caravan he's been traveling with for a month is in the bar, and then puts his jacket back down and walks dejectedly to the bar.
Awesome. Before I do Zashi's next thing, does Storm or Lander or Sandy have something you guys want to do?
Lander's just kind of quietly drinking to himself, upset that they don't have wine of any form.
I will say they do have wine, but it's really bad.
It beats anything else, I guess.
Okay. It is. You're not entirely sure this really constitutes as wine, and more like it's grape juice with grain alcohol added to it. It is not good. But yeah, you have that.
The dwarf with the bagpipes, upon seeing a female dwarf, will be trying to romance her, offering her to play a few ditties on the bagpipes.
She's like, that's fine, honey, but I don't go for other dwarves. And she kind of looks at the bartender, knowing the human bartender, like, I set my sights a little higher. And okay,
Yeah, that's it for me.
Storm or Sandy, you guys got anything?
I'm still drinking as much as I can.
Okay. Hydrating.
Yeah. Sure.
Okay. Sandy? Oh, we just lost Terry. Okay, so what was Zashi doing?
So when she gets back to the bar, she's going to go to the bartender and go, so this is going to be a little bit of an odd request, but it's something that I'm hoping you can help me with so I can help protect this caravan. I need some empty bottles and some strong spirit that'll burn well, and then wicks.
I mean, there's oil.
He kind of was like, well, any of your alcohols will burn well. He pulls out a bottle of clear liquid. I add this to the wine to fortify it.
Alright. How much would that bottle cost me and, say, 10 empty bottles?
The empty bottle is going to be a silver apiece, and this one, I'd say 3 gold.
Alright, so 4 gold total.
Mm-hmm.
I will go ahead and pay that.
Okay.
And thank him. And walk over to the dwarf, who seems to be in charge of the general store.
Yes.
Excuse me, ma'am. Do you have any wicks and
You're gonna make some candles? I have some candles for you. You don't have to make them on the road. It's a hobby of mine. They smell nice. You got vanilla. You got magnolia. You got honeysuckle. I like that honeysuckle.
So, as nice as those sound, and actually I probably would like a honeysuckle candle for my next date, but I'm actually making something a little more defensive for my caravan. So I just need straight wicks and actually some wax. Not too much.
If you need wicks and wax, why don't you just buy some of my candles? They're handmade.
Because it's something I'm working on, a pet project.
He's actually looking somewhat offended, by the way.
I'm not making candles. I am actually making something that's going to deter the devil dogs. And
you don't like my candles?
I would like one of your candles, but I also need a couple of other supplies.
Okay. That's gonna be. That'll be 5 silver. You get a pack of wicks, which is like 100 wicks. and a big block of wax,
Perfect.
and then a candle.
Honeysuckle candle.
The
Alright.
candle, by the way, is a small candle. Like it's not. It's like designed for a candle holder. Or it's tiny.
Yeah, that's okay. It's only there for ambiance.
Hmm.
Alright. I will have Chef and Scout assist as I make 10, well, actually 11, because that bottle will be mostly empty by the time we make 11 Molotov cocktails.
Okay, so we're just gonna treat them as alchemist fire. They do. You throw them, and they do 1d6 points of fire damage within 5 feet of everything.
1d6.
1d6.
Alright. And I am divvying up those between Scout, Chef, and myself. And
Okay.
explaining my plan.
Okay. Most people are pretty aware of what your plan is. In fact, you get a few looks of why are you making Molotov cocktails as people are like asking you in the bar. And at least at one point, what the hell is it? Morgan, one of the other caravan members, like walks up and is like, "Oh, I haven't seen alcohol that pure in a while. How much did you pay for this? Do they have more?"
They do have more. I think I paid 3 gold pieces, right?
That's a little rich for me. Mind if I take a swig?
Just a swig. I'm gonna need the rest of it for this project.
He downs it like that face of somebody that actually like severe alcoholic, but it still like burns the crap out of the back of his throat, like the eyes of like. And then he's just like, oh, ooh, I love that burn, and sets the bottle down.
Okay.
Anything else anyone wants to do that night?
Zashi, as she walks by Storm, will say, "You might want to slow down a little if you're not used to that."
You could already tell it's already too late. I'm like kind of swaying like on the bar stool, and I will stumble my way to the general store in a moment of clarity, and I will ask for several days more, food and water,
Okay, so
especially the water.
yeah. So you get for around, I would say 2 gold. You get another like 2 days worth of rations, but they have a markup on water because of issues. So for every day of water is an additional gold.
All right.
They have an unlimited supply because you realize that the well has nothing. That's the name of the bar. It has nothing to do with the bar. It has to do with it's literally on top of a water well, and that's what they get most of their money from.
All right. Yeah, I'll buy a few days of water as well.
Okay.
I spend a bunch of time stealing tiny bits of morsels off of other people's plates until I find something that I like, and then I order the same thing.
Okay. Give me a sleight of hand check. Just, I want to know.
I'm gonna grab water real quick.
Not real sneaky about it, apparently.
Yeah. Okay. Can you go ahead and now give me a D20 roll, please? If you roll higher than an 18, you'll have to re-roll. But it's a straight D20. I want to know who catches you. Okay, so that guy before, you actually come across his son Edbard, and he's like, "Hey, Crow, why are you stealing from a plate?"
I hand him a copper.
I got a copper. I got a shiny. See this, Nathaniel? I'm rich. Idbard is, by the way, like 4. So but
Was what he was eating any good?
it was decent. Primarily it was. I mean, nothing here is good, but it was potatoes and some type of meat substance. You're pretty sure it
Okay.
wasn't beef, but
So after I get caught and I pay him a copper, I walk up to the bar and I make it an illusion of that, like an exact copy of his bowl,
they
and then I
send,
put a copper on the.
yeah, they present you your food.
Okay, yeah, and then I eat that, and I'm good.
Okay. So, all of you getting your drink on, and the next morning, especially for Storm, it's not as the light comes shining through. You're wherever you're camping. It's you. I'm gonna say, Storm, you're gonna have disadvantage for the next like hour or so while you're like miserable. This is the first time you've been ever really drunk, so also the first time you've ever really been hungover. In fact, so you were drinking primarily whiskey. I will say the very scent of whiskey for the next year will make your character vomit.
Must have been Lord Calvert's.
It wasn't the best,
Yeah.
but I don't know any better.
You think this is just the feeling you're supposed to have after a night. But yeah, so it's the next morning. Most of the wagons are already hitched up. If any is wondering, yes, I actually did name all 99 civilians in this caravan.
You didn't have a lot to do on the boat, did you?
No, I did not. So, Kalavi,
Well, Rendell show up and kill everybody.
yeah,
Well, he is alive again.
Kalevi is like, so, bosses, we ready to go?
I think so, unless there's any last minute stuff. Scout, Chef, our plan, remember, we're gonna do a triangle thing to keep an eye out.
Okay, so here's how this is gonna work. There are 19 wagons. Each of the wagons has. I'm being transparent on this. The wagons that survive will affect your game later on, both in terms of NPCs and the amount of money that you guys have. If you get attacked by something that I know you guys can't handle, they will be attacking the wagons because the wagons are way tastier and easier to handle than you guys are. So I'll just be rolling d20s each round that you're in combat with them until you're able to get them to go away. You can send your minions to protect. Each of you can send your minions to protect one caravan or one wagon. That means if I roll that number, they are able to fight the monster off that turn. They won't do any damage, but they will. That wagon is protected. You guys, if as a group you're able to deal 50 damage to an individual monster in a turn, that monster will not attack that turn. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So, but you guys are setting off. Now, the Molotov cocktail thing, we'll figure out how that works.
Yep. Scout and Chef have it. They both are going to be attempting to protect various wagons.
Okay.
Can I make like a Arcana check or something to see what I know about devil dogs?
Yeah.
May I do a history check to do the same?
You don't know a lot about devil dogs. A history check?
Well, yeah, I realize that maybe Zashi
Okay.
might
So-
know something from living in the wastes, but I'm not sure.
Oh yeah, you're from the waste. That's right. So yeah, you can do a history check. DC is 15, by the way.
Okay. Nope. Never heard of them.
I will say that Whistler, while you don't know a lot, you do know that they're relatively quick. They are hunters. They always try to go after weak prey. And at most you'll face 3 of them. And that's a breeding pair and their kit. They're called dogs because of their shape, but they hunt more similar to felines than they do like wolves. So so Jahaza, his caravan at the front. We ready to go?
I think so. Mount up on my gray mare.
Okay.
I want to ride close. Well, not ride. I want my group to be close to whatever that the kid whose food I took. I want it to be close.
Okay, he's in wagon 2.
Okay.
So if you want, I can go over what's in each wagon. I don't know if you want.
No, you don't need to. I
Um,
don't think so. Well, maybe.
Yeah. My 2 NPCs, or 3 if that's what we have, the 3 would be going towards whatever has the largest families in them, basically. Or small children that are undefensible themselves.
Okay, so the wagons with the most people are wagons 6 and 7. Wagon 6 is a male human he has 3 wives and 9 children. Wagon 7 is a Viren. Actually, sorry. There's one other one that has a lot. So there's wagon 7 is a Viren mom and her 12 children. And then not as much, but you should probably know. There's also a wagon with Sister Astvoria, who is a human like nun, and the 6 war orphans. She's actually a Yanti nun according to my notes. And the 6 war orphans that's in her wagon.
And which wagon is that?
That is wagon. Second.
Are war orphans because of war, or orphans trained for war?
Because of war. These ones are because of war. I guess they could also be trained for war. But
That would be cool.
That's wagon.
That's a new class.
Or orphan.
That's wagon 15.
Which one? Sorry?
15, 1-5.
Alright, my 3 NPCs are going to be assigned to those 3 wagons.
No. So you have to assign your NPCs as a group.
Oh, okay.
You can assign yourself to protect another wagon, so each of you can protect 2 wagons. But
That's not very many.
if you assign yourself to protect a wagon, that means you can't attack.
Yeah, no, I'm going to be trying to attack. Very well. My NPCs will be focusing on wagon number 7 for the moment.
Okay.
Since it's kind of in the middle-ish area.
Yeah. From a other important wagon 19 is your guys' money.
It's an important wagon.
That merchant, he also, Karis, he's alone. He is the smallest wagon, but he himself is a wealthy swindler merchant, and he's in wagon 9. And then obviously wagon 1 is the leader of the caravan. If somebody's going to pay you, it's going to be him.
Alright.
Okay, but you guys are setting off?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Give me a survival check from whoever has the... Are you assigning anybody to scout?
Yeah, Scout is.
Okay. Give me a so your minions all he's proficient in survival, but I will so he's give me a D20 plus 4.
D20 plus 4. You got it. 20. Not natural.
Okay. You were actually able to do good work. This basically entire day Scout is able to negotiate you through that wagon. The Rip News doesn't drop a axle. Thankfully, because you're able to keep on fairly good terrain thanks to your Scout. And you guys don't really get attacked. You do get some heads up that he's seeing like one devil dog track to the north, but he's able to kind of guide you like around it.
And it's a she.
Oh, Scout is a she?
Yeah, Scout's a she. She's
No.
she's like 8'1.5".
Okay, so yeah, Scout's able to guide you through.
Okay.
Is that all you want to do that day?
I think so, unless anyone else has something specific in downtime they want to do.
No.
Not really.
Okay, so you guys make your way through the first day of the desert, relatively calm. There's some bickering back and forth. But for the most part, spirits are relatively high, with the exception of Storm, who's nursing a horrible, horrible hangover.
I'm just like going.
At some
Just
point,
go
I
ahead
would
and get
actually.
it out, Storm. If you puke, you'll feel much better.
I probably have been puking.
Yeah, actually, I
Strong
would say
black
at like some
coffee.
point, especially in the morning, like because you've probably been like kind of slowing everyone down. Crook actually like grabs you and puts you in the cart,
I'm just laying over in this
and all he
pie.
said, yeah, is like just don't puke in the cart.
Don't worry, I'm just like laying over, my face just down.
I'm gonna make you my special Bloody Mary mix. There's live worms in it, though.
Is that what makes it special?
Do I know that there's worms in this?
Oh yeah, yeah. When you look at it, you can see them.
Is it?
They're live.
They're
so
live. I'll just be like,
That's
and,
what makes it bloody too. When you
I'll just start puking again, and I'll just like wave to you.
Okay. So despite that, and your miserable tabaxi, day goes by fairly. It's slow going, but you guys are able to circle up the wagons. What is your watch schedule going to be like? It is a big caravan, so I'm going to count that all of your guys' minions are standing watch with your character, because it would require more than one person to stand watch for each thing.
All right. So does any of the groups have? Do any of the players in their NPCs not have dark vision?
I don't think any of mine do.
Then I would recommend your group takes one of the daylight time frames. Either first watch or last. And my group can take either the evening watch before midnight or the one right after midnight.
I'll take right after midnight. You can take before.
Okay.
Okay, so the first watch belongs to Whistler's group?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead and give me a survival check. I will add your wisdom modifier plus, but we'll count you as proficient even if you normally wouldn't be, because you have a group with you, and one of them would probably be. But I imagine the centaur is proficient.
What? Perception?
Survival.
Survival. Yeah, I'm not. But yeah, I'm pretty sure this centaur is.
Okay, you. Wow. Okay, so you're. it's you actually do notice something. You notice that there's not nearly enough birds. Even in the desert, there should be some amount of birds, especially at this time of day, like attacking insects. Something is scaring them off. So you are able to, with the assistance of everyone, kind of move the caravan just enough so that you're out of the range of whatever's coming your way.
Okay. I will also cast Mage Armor on myself.
Okay.
Because I'm a little worried.
Yeah. Okay. Next watch is Zashi.
Yep. So am I using? So I'm proficient in survival, but scout is actually better. But am I?
You're using your survival.
Okay.
You are in charge.
Oh no.
Okay. As far as you know, nothing happened.
Okay.
We're gonna be short a few kids in the morning, aren't we?
No.
Don't know.
Lander, I believe you're up.
Yeah, Lander, you're up.
Oh no.
Okay, so Lander, as dawn arises, head counts start, and I need somebody to give me a roll me a d20 first off.
1.
Okay, that's interesting. Okay, I need then a d4.
I'm scared. Also 1.
Okay, so actually at head count, like when everything is normally going into it, you actually hear Azara. Okay, like, has anyone seen Jahaza? Where's Jahaza?
Jahaza's the leader of the caravan, right?
Yeah, that's what you just rolled. You rolled the first caravan, the leader of it. So
No, we haven't seen Jahaza. Where wasn't he with you?
he stepped out in the middle of the night to do a patrol. I don't know. I don't know where. Weren't you on watch? It would have been right at midnight.
It might have been right in between the watch shift. Let's go take a look around.
Okay, I'm gonna need a survival check from. So I remember you guys have to kind of. This is gonna be kind of splitting up the group. I'm gonna have you guys. I'm gonna take control of your group right now and say that you're leaving your minions behind while you guys go look for him. The minions to protect the caravan while you guys go search. So I need the best survival check from you guys.
So
At advantage because I'm assuming one of you guys is helping him out.
Not
mine's
me, that's for sure.
Mine's plus 3.
Yeah, that's a lot better
that's
than mine.
I got a plus 2, so yeah, yours is.
-1.
Okay, so it's me. You want me to roll with an advance?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh. 14's not terrible.
It's not great either.
No.
The good news is we now decide our own salaries.
Just go back.
Well, a venture over.
So long as we don't have to ford any rivers, we should be okay.
I'm not sure what Scott is doing, but I gave you the last of the coffee.
Not the last of the coffee.
Yeah, the last of the coffee.
Surely there must be more.
Well, we could make more. But that involves actually starting a pot.
Okay, so 14.
Yep.
Okay, so it takes you guys a little bit, but you do find. I mean, it's a desert, so you do find tracks. It looks like he went out to take a leak. You actually find near a juniper bush, where the tracks suddenly like settle out, and then there's paw prints in the ground and drag marks.
Well, he's dead.
Is there blood?
Yeah, there's a small amount of blood. It looks like something attacked him and dragged him away.
It's like, well, are we going to go follow the drag marks?
I start
Did he have
following the
anything
dragon.
valuable on him?
Hmm?
Did he have anything valuable on him when he went to take a leak?
We really don't know, but
I mean, he was a noble, but like, so his clothes were probably valuable, but you don't really know.
It's probably trashed by now.
I think the real question is how well is the caravan going to listen to us if the leader disappears?
I just wander off
Chaos
following the
Man.
tracks.
Okay.
I follow.
Okay, so it's
This is stupid, but I follow.
okay. So are you just kind of wandering, or how are you following? Sorry, that's a weird. I'm trying not to make leading questions, but are you?
Okay, so what I meant by wandering off is
Stealthily approaching.
I'm just following the tracks.
Okay.
I just didn't stop to tell anybody that I was
Okay.
doing it.
Give me a perception check. And also, I need somebody else to give me a D100 roll.
I'm rolling like shit. Chris or James, please.
All right.
I got it.
Got it?
Okay.
Be right back.
Okay, so Whistler, you actually are able to perceive this before they would perceive you. As you crest one of the see, the wastes aren't like the Sahara Desert. It's more like the Nevada or Utah Desert, where it's mainly rocky.
Mm-hmm.
So as you kind of crest like a little I don't remember the word I'm looking for, gulch, like hill, you overlook. It looks like an encampment of. It looks like knolls, and strung up, like over a pit, is a hobgoblin. Like in the center of it. It looks like there's 3 tents.
Does he look dead?
You had with high enough perception, he looks like he's still alive.
Okay. I drop down behind a rock prone, wait for everybody to catch up if they're following me.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm not leaving your little birdie butt to yourself.
Okay. Can I get stealth rolls from everybody, please?
I'm really rolling like shit today.
My stealth roll should be a lot
We're
higher
not the
than that.
stealthiest of people.
My stealth roll should be a 17. It's not
Okay.
coming up, so.
That's fine. Whistler?
9.
That was sleight of hand.
It would be the same
Oh, okay.
roll.
Oh,
anyway.
did I roll? No, actually, it's less. It's
Oh.
only a 7.
Okay.
Sorry. I just...
It
You're right
really
above
doesn't
each other.
matter with that one. And like, okay, so you guys like it's not graceful, but you're fairly far away right now. However, Zashi kind of like hits the edge of the gulch and just kind of like it's not a huge drop, so she doesn't take damage, but like she kind of trips on a rock and starts tumbling down forward.
I turn to her as she's turning, and I go, "Shh, stupid Kenku."
I just sigh, and I will help her up.
Well, on that, you hear a strange sound come from. It's like a yipping coming from the encampment.
Shit.
As about 5 gnolls and the biggest gnoll you have ever seen, and come like walking out. Aside that large gnoll is looks like a hyena. It looks like a hyena with a scorpion tail attached to it. It doesn't look friendly.
How much from Scout did Zashi learn about the gnolls?
You wouldn't be able to recognize the large gnoll, but you know the I'm blanking on their name right now. Give me a second. You know what the hyena thing was. So yeah, it's a give me a second. Sorry.
Yeah, one of those.
It's a Shisuva.
Shisuba. Okay.
They are nasty creatures that are like gifts from demonic entities. You do notice a symbol on the tent. It looks like a raked claws and an eye behind it. That's the symbol of Yenogu. It is also the symbol of Savra, the scion of Yenogu that kind of rules the gnolls in this area.
Okay. I'm gonna turn towards Whistler. So we may want to get the caravan moving while we try to get him back.
Oh, okay. So you didn't like fall down the.
I
She tumbled down, but she was able to catch it. It just made a crap ton of noise.
You're right. Okay.
How far are we from the caravan?
It's been like 2 hours, so you're about 6 miles.
I mean, Whistler nods, but then he points because if they're looking at us, I mean.
Yeah.
Maybe one of us should try to run back to get him moving while the others deal with this.
You actually watch as the large one starts pointing. They cut down Jahaza and like throw him into one of the tents, and then it points, and the Shisuva starts taking off after you. You guys are around a quarter mile away.
Okay, so the Shisuva, which I know is a nasty piece of work, is coming right at us, and this Nola has made it clear that she is not willing to negotiate. Yes?
Okay.
Well,
Well,
you don't know its
we're
gender,
far.
but yes.
We're also too out of range for anything I can do. So, yeah, no, I'm totally okay with running.
Yeah, no, I think we should run, and once the
Shisuva
gets close, I'll toss an alchemist fire at its face to try to get it to back off. But
okay, give me an athletics check from all of you guys. Are all you running? I should actually ask that. Are all of you just taking off and running?
well, I would kind of want to say that I don't know, things like gnolls you normally don't want to just run away from because the entire encampment might start chasing you down thinking that you're weak. So I think we're backing off, or at least Zashi is backing off, getting ready to throw the alchemist fire. She is leaving, but she's trying to not seem weak, if that makes sense.
Okay.
I am just following whatever Sashi is doing. So if she's not running, then I'm not running either. Just following her lead.
Okay.
Lander is dropping Expeditious Retreat on himself and running for it.
Okay. Okay, I won't require the athletics check. That makes you actually faster than the Shusuva. So, and then Storm, you're muted.
I'll look around and I'll see Lander running. I'll stay with them and do a tactical retreat. Hopefully, get the thing into a better position where we can do something to it.
Okay.
Oh, one question. Is the Shisuva medium-sized?
Let me check. No, it is large.
That is important to know.
I'm sorry?
Did everyone else just lose James?
Yeah,
Yes.
I lost John. Maybe he was trying to show that he just bolted from you guys.
Well, Lander's gone.
I need initiative checks from the people that are staying.
21. I am going to use the restroom real quick.
Okay. Okay. So of course Zashi would be first. But she already declared that as soon as the Shusuva gets close, she's going to throw the. So we'll go ahead and resolve that. Okay. So the Shusuva comes barreling towards you guys. It seems like it's extremely used to this desert wasteland terrain and is able to just kind of bound at not an extremely fast speed, but a pretty quick speed. Hey, James is back. So, Becca, was there anything else? Because you're the only one that had higher initiative than the Shisuva.
Okay.
And actually, James, I will ask for an initiative check just in case you decide that you want to help out, or if you're just gonna run. But okay, so James would. But so are you planning on you're just using your action to hold until the Shusuva gets close enough and then throwing a Molotov cocktail?
I've actually rethought that. If the Shisuva gets close enough, I'm going to attack with my rapier.
Okay, so you're holding your attack action.
Yes.
Okay, so the Shisuva is going to move closer to you. James, what's your character's dexterity modifier or dexterity score?
It is +2.
Okay, so you and the Shisuva had the same initiative, but you have a higher dexterity score. So, you're just running?
It's just the Shisuva coming at us.
As of right now, it's just the Shisuva coming at you. This very large scorpion thing, and I just lost Tucker and James. Tucker's back.
Me, because I keep trying to get James back on mine.
I just lost James again.
Yeah, I've lost James too. I think it's something on James's side, not yours.
Yeah.
Okay, he's back.
Is it just the Shisuva coming after us, or are the gnolls on its heels?
Just the Shisuva. The gnolls seem to be actually packing up their encampment with the I'm forgetting his name, with Jahaza in tow. The Shisuva seems to be almost like a skirmisher right now.
Huh. They're packing up like they're getting ready to leave?
Yeah, it wasn't a permanent encampment. It was just a camp, and they don't know.
Would we know anything about Shishuvas?
Make an Arcana check. Or yeah, and that's actually all of you could make that.
Okay.
Yeah, actually, Whistler, you know quite a bit. Shisuvas are demonic hyenas, essentially. They are resistant to fire, ice, any non-magical attack. They're really tough. They're really strong, but with coordinated action, you usually can. They're not a huge problem. But
Do I know anything they don't think?
as far as you know, there is not anything that they that they're particularly weak against. As demons, they don't like consecrated ground very much. But beyond that, not really. You do know that poison, they are completely immune to poison.
Okay.
So, but it's bounding towards, looks like actually Zashi, because she's the closest one. So it is going to make, Zashi, you get your attack because you were holding,
All right.
and then it's going to make attack as well.
Please hit. Please hit. 11.
You're able to hit it, but its hide seems really tough. And it is going to make its attack first with its bite, which is a +7. 19 to hit.
That is my armor class.
Okay. And it is going to do
Yuck.
29 points of damage.
I'm down. I am down. That dropped me.
And then the Shisuva's tail will then go ahead and attack. It'll probably be sorry. Storm had the highest stealth, so it would go ahead and attack the Kenku.
So does it actually have enough movement to do this? Because didn't Xanshi throw it as soon as it got into range?
She decided not to throw the Molotov cocktail. She waited until it got close enough to.
Oh. Okay. Well, we're all dead.
Well, that would actually still be okay, because my Arcana check for it was higher, so I would have known that it was pretty much immune to fire, so the alchemical fire wouldn't have worked.
So the tail comes whipping at you. For AC is, and you have mage armor on, so your AC should be higher than 13, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you're able to definitely get out of the way, and it just kind of hungers its fur up, and that's its turn. And that brings us to
Lander.
Lander. The Shisuva just dropped your paladin in one hit, and tried to attack your Kenku and missed.
Healing word, got it.
I know what how far away is it from me?
You kind of took off, so you're we'll say you're 40 feet away from it right now. Or actually, you took off as soon as it started moving towards you, right?
Yeah, but then
Lander ran.
Yeah, so you're as far away as you want to be.
Oh, bloody hell. I double back.
Okay.
Till, let's say I'm within 60 feet.
Okay.
You know, just give or take a bit.
Yeah, you're 60 feet away.
And I'll hit it with the old Dissonant Whispers.
Okay, that's a wisdom check from it?
Wisdom save, yeah.
Okay.
Of 13. Hoping for a nat 1.
It rolled a 10. So, it gets affected how much
Sweet.
damage?
3d6.
3d6 psychic, and then it must immediately take a dash action to move as far away from me as possible.
Okay, so 8 points of damage to it. And it...
James rolled it 10.
Oh, sorry. I don't know why I rolled it. So 10 damage to it, and it says immediately or on its next turn?
It has to take its reaction to move it away.
Okay, so yeah, a reaction, it moves 40 feet away.
And normally I'd get an attack of opportunity, but I don't have a weapon out.
Mm-hmm.
I can punch
However,
it.
Storm is within range, so do you want to take your attack of opportunity?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doom. Ah,
You definitely hit.
nice. Don't lick my plate, cat. Stop that.
Seven points.
Okay.
Nice.
So you were able to carve into it. It's not as it doesn't do as much damage as you were hoping, but it hurts it a little bit.
All right.
And that brings us to actually you.
Yeah, and I'm going to hit it with dissonant whispers again.
Okay.
What class is Storm?
Same as you, probably, Bard.
Oh, no.
No.
Okay, so that's also effective. Go ahead and roll damage, and its reaction is already used up. So this is weird. We'll say on his next turn it has to actually fully take the dash action away. Okay.
5. And then for my bonus action, I'm going to use Healing Word.
You can't cast 2 spells in one turn.
Oh, yeah. It's not a cantrip.
Mm-mm. But that brings us to Whistler.
Okay. So he reaches onto his little vest
Mm-hmm.
and let's see what the pulls out a bit of fleece, squawks a little and waves his hands, and an image of that giant knoll appears between Zashi and where Zashi fell and the thing.
Yeah.
With its hands out like this.
Okay.
And it 15-foot cube, so I should be able to do it big like that. Then I grab Sashi and slowly start dragging her.
Okay. Okay. So you use your half
use
of your
Paladin.
movement, so 15 feet. Yeah. Okay. And that brings us to Zashi, who has to make a death saving throw.
Nope. First failure.
Okay. So now this is
At least
Just-
it wasn't a 1.
it's now the Shisuva's turn, who has to use its movement to move away because of dissonant whispers. And its action to dash is now really far away. I'm also going to go ahead and roll just an intelligence check to see if it... Like, normally this would be a whole thing, but I'm going to go ahead and roll it now.
Well, it actually takes an action.
Yeah, so it can't actually do this yet. It has to wait until its next turn to figure out what's going on. And that brings us then to Lander. It is moving away. It is like the combined dissonant whispers and this image of this knoll appears, which the Whistler didn't actually tell you what he was doing, but I will say that you guys are aware he's a loon. And that there's this knoll that appeared. So
I'll hit it with an Eldritch Blast.
the Shisuga?
Yeah. Zap
Okay.
it in the ass while it's running away.
Okay, go and roll an attack. That hits. Go and roll damage. Okay.
We're rolling good today, boys.
Yeah.
Okay. And that brings us next to Storm.
Going to bonus action Healing Word.
Okay.
Thank you.
5. And then I'm going to help Whistler drag while she's getting up.
Okay. Okay. And that brings us to Whistler.
So, question.
Mhm.
Obviously, I can drag at 15 feet. I don't know if there's anything in the rules where I can actually just pull her to her feet, so she doesn't have to waste her movement on her turn.
Yeah, I'll say you can use. There's no really rules, but I'll say you can use 5 feet of your movement to help her up, so she doesn't have to use half of her movement to get up from prone.
Can I just use my action to do it?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll use my action to do it,
Mhm.
and then I'll move 30 feet,
Okay.
maintaining concentration on my image.
Yeah. Then it's Zashi's turn.
All right, if we're up, I kind of blink my eyes. I'll do healing hand, my lay on hands for
Okay.
10,
Okay.
and move away with everyone else.
Okay. It is now the Shisuba's turn, who is going to try to do the thing. What's your
the
spell
thing.
save DC?
It's not too high. Just a
It doesn't matter. He rolled a -1.
yeah,
That one.
it's higher than -1.
What? Yeah. So the Shisuba, like normally I'm just gonna have it back off. The Shisuba, because I have to reward a -1, goes or punish a -1, actually goes down on all fours, and like it looks like it's can be commanded by this thing, except that you can't. I'm pretty sure you cast Silent Image, so it can't.
Yeah, it can't talk,
Yeah. So
and I
it's
wouldn't
just-
know how to make it say anything because I can't talk.
Yeah. So it looks like the Shisuba is waiting for a command.
Oh.
So we're out of combat, I guess. If you're seeing the tent pack up, I'm assuming you guys are you guys leaving? Since this thing can kick your ass and the silent image has it, but it lasts what 10 minutes?
Yeah, 10 minutes.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
we're running back to our caravan and getting them moving. And unfortunately, having to tell Zahara's wife that we might have to find a way to negotiate with a Knoll pack.
Azara. Jahaza is the guy. Azara is the wife.
Hazara?
Jazar.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm having problems here.
Jahaza is the guy that you just let get eaten by gnolls, and Azara is his wife.
Yeah, sure, rub it in. We're going to have to let her know that she is now going to have to take charge in her husband's place, and we need to go.
Okay, she is
We could
inconsolable.
trade some of the orphan for him.
Just question.
Uh-huh.
Just world stuff. Are gnolls more prone to negotiation in this world than like?
Yes.
Okay, because they're just bloodthirsty killers, and
Yeah, no, they are also under a specific curse involving scavenging, but for the most part, gnolls are mercenaries. They're not.
okay.
They're actually a power here.
Possibly, we could exchange some of the orphans for him.
Yeah, not doing that.
I'm looking around for which orphans we'd want to exchange.
The war orphans.
No, I'm getting the caravan moving. Once we get to Malys, we might be able to ask about the Knoll packs and whether or not there's any chance of getting them back, which I don't
Okay.
really think there is.
When you guys get back to the caravan, Azara is waiting for you. Hey, did you find him?
I'm sorry.
I make a silent. I make a minor illusion of him strung up over a bit. I can't move, but I can totally make fire. Oh no! I can make any sounds or whatever too that I heard. I make Knoll sounds.
Please, I'm very sorry, but we got to get the caravans moving. It's a very large Knoll pack that we can't take on. We've got to go get moving. We can ask in Malys what the chances of negotiating for.
I want you, sire. Make a persuasion check, please, with disadvantage.
Ah! All right.
What your Kenku did not help calm Azara down at all.
With disadvantage. I don't even. No.
Yeah, no, she's inconsolable.
All right, fine.
She is not going to be fine to lead anybody for a long time.
All right, I'm
At
gonna
which point, the caravan erupts into chaos, as now there's arguments over who's going to lead.
Zashi is going to scream out, "Shut up and get moving!" We do not
I'm just
have
pointing
time.
at Zashi.
We do not have time with this. Get in your wagons and move.
Make an intimidate check.
I don't think I'm good at intimidation, actually. Intimidate. Oh, damn it! What is my iPad doing? That is not what I hit. Intimidate. 13.
Okay, that's not enough. However, you do get the attention of Hani, who is a very old woman with a heavy crossbow, like slung across back. Hey, you whippersnappers! Listen to the mercenaries. They know what they're doing. We're getting out here right the fuck now. This is like an 80-year-old woman, by the way, like just screaming off of her lungs.
I love her already.
At which point the caravan kind of forms around it. The only two people seem to be dragging their heels. One is Macklin, who's just like, I don't take orders from no old shrew, and then Morgan, who's drunk off of his ass.
Okay. I'm not waiting for them.
I walk up to Macklin and I say, "Listen to the mercenaries. They know what the fuck they're doing." In that old lady's voice. Again.
Okay. They are moving, but like Morgan is tripping over himself, and Macklin is just kind of grumbling.
I whisper to Whistler, "Give him your Bloody Mary mix." That should perk him right up.
I go to make some Bloody Mary mix.
Okay, Morgan like vomits his out, but his oldest Nathaniel actually like, "Come on, Dad, let's get back." And then you see Aedbard actually grab the Bloody Mary mix. It's like, "Cool," and starts chugging it.
I just cringe.
And the caravan continues on. Would you like to rearrange the caravan in any way? Because right now Azara, who is basically inconsolable, is technically still leading it.
Yeah, no, we're gonna put her wagon in the center.
Okay.
I guess the little old lady who everyone at least listened to, we're gonna kind of put her in the front.
Who's in her wagon? Or what is her wagon?
It's her two sons, Guapi and Sueto, a daughter-in-law, and her grandchild, who is one of the newborns, is Hobble.
All right. Yep. Sounds good.
That was brutal.
That was terrible. I'm going to assign my group to protect the lead wagon. The now lead wagon.
Yeah. Okay, so day starts. Becca, I'm assuming you're sending Scout out ahead. Give me a survival check from him.
Ooh, natural 20, 24.
Okay, I will go ahead and also, because that's a nat 20, your survival checks at night will have advantage.
Okay. Oh, same rotation?
Same watch rotation?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
During Zashi's downtime, she is going to check in on each of the wagons. Face-to-face, touching base type thing, trying to keep morale up.
It is a very, very morose, like, day. There's
Mhm.
there is very little chipper. The only real sound is the sound of Azara occasionally sobbing.
I'll play my viol while it's quiet to try to pick people up.
Okay, give me a performance check.
$15.
You read the mood pretty well. You don't make anything particularly cheery, but you also don't like it. It perks people up. And at one point you were able to actually get people singing. It's kind of like it's a standard like funeral tune, I guess. Like um oh, I'm blanking on. Man, my brain is not working today. But you're able to get like there is you're able to express some mourning and you're able to get things moving.
All right.
But nighttime comes around, and I believe our first is Whistler's group. You have advantage on the survival checks because the scout is able to basically. He is scout. A scout. She is able to like let you know exactly where to go. The moves really well. The Rip News wagon still has not broken.
So yeah, I mean a 13. 15 if I still get to add the proficiency
You do.
of yeah.
So yeah, it's a quiet night. Most between the fires, and you're able to keep everybody from separating out. You do see at one point Karis seems to want to like wander off a little bit, but you're able to get him back into his tent before he.
Yeah, I actually, if Karis is wandering off,
Mhm.
I just follow Karis.
Okay, give me a stealth check.
So I'm not trying to hide it from Karis.
Oh, okay.
Like,
Then don't worry about it.
yeah, if you're wandering off, I'm coming with you.
Yeah, like Karis is like he's. It looks like actually Karis is like nipping around the other tents. He's not actually leaving the encampment. It almost looks like he's stealing shit.
Okay, is he stealing good shit?
Yeah, coins here, baubles there. You get the feeling. Actually, give me an insight check. Okay. You've been around enough thieves, you know. Like he's scoping out what he wants and kind of assessing everybody's financial situation.
Okay, then I'm doing the same thing.
You do notice, like, so Honey, the woman you put in charge, she has a lot of money. She also has a lot of gear. Like, you don't know a lot about her, but you get the feeling she's seen some stuff in her life and has made quite a bit of money along the way. The only other people that really have anything is Karis, Macklin Karis. He has a shit ton of money in his caravan, and you're able to scope that out while he's doing his thing. But stealing from him might be a little difficult because it looks like his wagon is actually trapped.
So does Karis take anything while I'm following him?
Anything basically, like if he thinks he can get away with it, he steals like a bottle of wine here or there, or like some rations.
Okay, so anytime he steals, I steal too.
Okay, give me a sleight of hand check.
In fact, I might actually take whatever he takes.
Yeah, I'm gonna say
Like,
you actually
yeah.
managed to pick his pocket while he's doing something else, and during it, you managed to go grab a ring that and because you got a nat 20, I'm doing this. You grab a ring that you like. Your wizard senses tells you might actually have something to it.
Okay. Who did he do? What tent did we? Which caravan did we take this from?
You took it from. Give me a second. I need to get their names. You would have gotten this from the third tent, which is a drow tent. You would have gotten it from Verity. This is, but it's a black metal with elven runes inscribed in it.
And I would imagine eventually we would get stopped, not because of Whistler, but because my 2 followers are less inclined to do this.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, that's pretty much what happens during your watch. Next we come to the best person at survival checks ever, Zashi. Please roll survival with advantage.
10.
Okay, so 10 is literally all you need, but you still almost had somebody wander off. Nothing really happens during your night. And finally, Lander, you're up.
It's with advantage, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, another nat
my
20.
God.
Okay, you were actually able to, with the nat 20, you were able. I will give the scouting on the next mission an advantage. Or you're able to actually get some. You're able to prepare the food. You're able to get everything set up in the morning. I'm going to say that you guys are actually able to travel pretty well. So you actually, because of how early you guys can set out, you actually save about half a day on travel. Because Lander is able to like make the food and everything set up.
Okay.
So the third day comes.
Oh, boy. 20 not natural. So 20 not natural. Thank you for the advantage, Lander.
Okay. Your scout is still doing his job or doing her job pretty well. Nothing really going on. Go ahead and roll. It's the next night. Let's go ahead. You don't have advantage on these ones because it wasn't a nat 20.
Alright. So, Whistler's group again, then?
Whistler's group. And this one we'll leave off after this night because we're getting close to the end of it.
Did Storm's group want to rotate in at any point?
Oh.
So that's bad.
Yeah,
That's
that's
an natural
bad.
one.
That's a nat 1. Okay, so no one has to take in because you guys managed to. You hear howling, and the movement in the darkness as the sun sets. I need and you hear the alarm bell start ringing as Hani wakes up. The devil dogs approach. Prepare yourselves, and that's where we will leave off today. I want you guys all to think about what caravans you want to protect, or what wagons you want to protect, and what's.
And we were already starting to break camp, or are the...
You were setting up camp so you guys are actually kind of caught flat-footed.
Yep. Okay.
So I would say anyone who wears armor would be already out of their, or would be in the middle of taking off of their getting off their armor. You guys have been settling down. It's gonna take like a bit to get reorganized.
This has been terrible.
We rolled an awful lot of ones today.
It's not a lot of 20s, though.
That's true. It's a lot of red and green.
I can't believe you guys rolled the one of the major NPCs is the one.
That was funny.
Yeah, that happened. That was a thing that happened.
And the second she got one shot, I'm like, oh, we're
Yeah.
dead. I'm like,
Yeah, well, because you rolled a 90, and weirdly in the random encounter thing, the lower number you roll, the better usually of random encounters. As you get higher on the charts, they get worse. So you just fought a CR8 creature.
It hurt.
yeah. Let's not
Yeah,
do that again.
when the creature goes up in one shot's like the only fighter type in the group.
The Paladin.
Yeah.
Almost actually
Yeah.
one shot at 2 characters. Like you guys are really lucky. Your pro is like it rolled low on that attack on the tail attack again.
I know that Dissonant Whispers, man, that was clutch.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was.
Oh yeah.
That,
Well, here's the thing. So, how much damage did it do to you?
It did 29 points of damage.
Yeah, So if it does your hit points under 0 when it hits you, you just die outright, right?
No, it has to double the amount of that your hit.
Oh no! So if you're at 0 and it deals your max hit points, you would die.
Yeah.
Like
that
so you.
Yeah,
So,
I would have gotten actually one-shotted.
Yeah.
I only have 12 hit points.
Yeah, you would have died. Right
well,
there.
no, the
Yeah,
tails,
I would have
so
been
the,
thin red paste.
so the tail stinger does less damage. It does 2d8 plus 4, but it's there's also a poison effect on the stinger that like you would have been paralyzed for 3 hours.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
The other problem we had was the fact that pretty much half the party is not with us.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, well, even a CR8, we'd still be dead.
Yeah.
We still.
But at least we would have more people for it to aim at and not me.
Oh. This is not
Told you I wasn't going to pull any punches on this one, so.
When Lander took off, I'm like, I really want to take off after him.
I actually thought all of you were going to take off.
I was about to. I was about to use the feline's agility and just head out.
And I will tell you all, just because we've been together for a month, if any of you goes forward and does something stupid, I'm going to do the same stupid thing right there, because that's what my character does. He doesn't really think for himself, so...
if the situation is hopeless and we have no chance of winning, I'm running.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
We are caught flat-footed with the devil dogs coming down on us.
Do we know how many devil dogs?
2.
There's technically 3, but the kit doesn't really count.
So just 2.
We circled up the wagons, or
Yeah, the wagons would have already been circled because you're setting camp.
Yeah, here's the
Okay.
problem, though. They're going to be targeting the wagons, and we're not going to be able to be running from them. We're literally flat-footed.
Yeah, but they're not CR8s. We can get a double dog.
Depending on what Scott's using, they might be CR14.
They're not really. These don't really, because of the way the combat is working. They don't really have a CR. But yeah, they would be CR14s, except that they don't really have a because they're not focusing on you. This is more of an event fight than
We
anything
just have
else.
to do like 50 points of damage to one to get it to run, right?
In one turn.
Yeah.
It's the one turn that's a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or
we
one
don't have
round.
any
Sorry, not one
people-
turn. One turn would be impossible for you guys. One round.
Yeah.
So we're going to have to concentrate on the same one.
It's like my thought is like our other party.
Well, that doesn't make them run. That just saves us for one round, too.
Yeah, that's the problem with us being flat-footed, is they could completely decimate the caravan, which means we're not getting paid.
Oh, no. Well, they're gonna destroy our caravan, but we have action economy on them.
Mm-hmm. And you get and you can protect things. And if they roll one that you're protecting, they automatically lose their turn. It's not.
So if we could get the other 3 people here, we are protecting 7 caravans.
Yep. And Zashi has let you all know that for whatever reason, fire does seem to be something that these things don't like.
And I am sure the plan is not to have the whole caravan hit. I mean, I'm sure that probably actually ruins things if we were actually to successfully save the whole caravan. I'm
It
sure
doesn't
that's
ruin things. It makes things harder for me. But
a little tragedy is good.
yeah,
This is
Spices
like the
of the
Oregon
game, right?
Trail all over.
Say again?
This is like the Oregon Trail all over. And
kind of is.
Yeah, if I die from dysentery and shit myself to death, I'm going to be really disappointed.
Oh, that's on my chart. This is really like the Axel thing. That's an Oregon Trail reference.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's we're lucky we're in a desert and we don't have to forge.
Oh no, because I've never successfully forded a river in Oregon Trail, and I didn't want to do that to you guys. I still don't actually know what that means.
Fording a river? You
You just kind of like walk your wagon across
Yeah,
it.
you walk it
hoping
across,
that
but
is
you
safe.
have to find the ford, which is a more shallow, safer spot for horses and wagons to cross.
Mm.
Finding
Scott?
that spot, unless you know the area, is actually really difficult in real life.
Yep. It's really difficult in Oregon Trail.
Yeah.
So long as no one dies of snake bites or like bear mauling, we should be good.
Mhm.
It's just
Okay.
gnolls and devil dogs.
Yeah.
Rip.
Okay. Bye.
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 See ya.